well, this one's thanks to Zach Weeks 299. What is your worship team member or tech booth pet peeve?
This is a good one. We're dangerously close to a guitar topic, so a lot of people tune it out right about now.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry. Sorry to disappoint on the guitar front.
Although I feel like we could talk about this whole topic without ever saying guitar.
True.
We're just talking about pet peeves of
my
people.
pet peeve of tech booth,
Okay.
mostly like sound guys, is like just a lack of musicality
From the
In the
sound
sound
guys.
people.
from the sound guy,
Okay.
right?
Say more.
Well, like, okay. Like in your guitar chain, right? We've talked about this before. Like your pickups matter less than the speaker, right? The further through the chain,
things later in the chain.
things later
Yeah.
in the chain make more of a difference. Well, what's
Yeah.
the last thing in the chain on a Sunday morning?
Yeah, the sound guy.
It's the sound.
The
front
volunteer
house.
sound
the,
guy.
Yeah.
The volunteer sound guy. So like all the money you spend on getting your tone set up straight and sounding
They have
amazing.
to pass right through his New Balances.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
and, like,
It's like he
shorts
can make
with
a
socks.
very small change that makes a drastic effect, and
Or mute you completely.
or forget that you're on the stage.
How are your mids now?
Yeah, exactly.
I got to admit, sometimes I go to churches and I'll listen to a mix and I'll just go, have you heard music before?
Yeah.
Like, what record did you, like, what is your reference
Like most
here?
of the time, you can hear like like when you're listening to music in real life, you can hear things like the kick drum and all the instruments that are being played. I feel like a lot of churches.
Yeah.
So that's a pet peeve of mine.
Okay.
That's probably the biggest one.
I've got one for musicians in bands. It's this dichotomy of, on one hand, them saying we always do the same songs over and over again. It's the same set. Like I wish we played more songs.
Who says that?
The band members.
The band
like
members,
come on, why don't we
right.
do this song? Or this song's a good one. Why don't we introduce this song? It's that on one hand, and then not knowing any of the songs on the other hands, making mistakes, forgetting parts. Like, do I start the song? Do you start?
Right.
That
It's like I
always-
thought you just said we
It's
do
like,
this all the
look, you
time.
can't even play the 20 that we have on the set list
On the
already.
rotation, yeah.
But you're asking for all the, we want 50 brand new songs. It's like,
So
well, do the first one first.
It's so true.
And then
Right.
once these are, so
Right.
yeah, it's very simple music to play, but still people can really struggle over the chord progression or the
I think that's
timing
true,
or anything
yeah.
like that. And it's like, and I think a lot of it has to do with just like, I don't know, I listened to the songs on the way to church. I forgot I was playing this Sunday. Like, it's just all that sort of like.
Yeah, there's some people that are just chronically unprepared. I played with
Yeah.
this one drummer, and I couldn't even tell you if he's good or not. I just know he's unprepared all the time. You know what
That's
I mean?
his main feature.
That's his main feature.
Yeah, right.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like he might be pretty decent.
He like walks in.
But he doesn't
He
know
walks
the
in
tune.
at
Yeah.
call time.
Yeah.
Or like
with it playing in his phone. And it's like,
That is an interesting point. You have to be prepared for me to evaluate if you're a good musician.
Yeah.
Like you could be great, like you're saying, and you just don't know the
don't
song.
know the music. I mean,
I'm
what are you
hearing
gonna-
that.
Yeah. And it's like you're not playing that beat because it's the only beat you know. You don't even
Yeah.
know what to play. You wouldn't even know how to nail the parts if you could.
Yeah.
I think the thing that this isn't quite my pet peeve, but you reminded me of it. But one thing that sometimes bothers me, it's one of my pet peeves, is when people are really like, they'll either say like they might say we do songs too much, and it's always people in the band or in the like. I feel like there's this need to be like, we need to do fresh songs, new songs, and I always try to remind people who either work at churches or serve really closely. Maybe they're not on staff, but they're like,
Up all
the
the time.
volunteer
Yeah.
worship pastor, whatever. I always try to remind them like, people lived an entire 6 days. Like God created the world in the amount of time these people have just lived. They don't remember what songs you did last week. They do not. Trust me. They do not. They cannot recall.
No.
They don't remember the pastor's message. They don't remember that. You know what I
could
mean?
do the same set 4 weeks in a row. Most people wouldn't know.
I think most pastors would have their heart broken if they went out into the congregation before service and said, "What's the name of the series we've been on for the last 6 weeks?" I think 50% of people would have no idea. They'd be so embarrassed that they can't even think what they. And when you say it, they go, "Oh yeah, I remember."
Totally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like, I could remind you of like a scene from a movie you've seen 100 times. You don't remember it like right off the bat, but you're, I remember this part. Or you turn on. It's like it's there somewhere.
What series is your church in right now? I had to test it.
That was perfect. That's so great.
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Jesus?
Yeah.
I just remembered another pet peeve I have though.
Yeah.
People who like leave the iPad out the whole time and just stare at it the whole time. You know,
What do you mean? Like while they play?
Yeah, like you're playing guitar or bass or
they look
whatever.
like this the whole
Yeah,
service.
it's just like
Staring down at it.
that kind of bugs me.
I don't mind it as much because it's like, well, just turn the light off on that guy. You know?
Nah, because I think what it is people. It's like a crutch. People are they're like too afraid to like try it.
There's a thing about practicing when you stare at music, and then you want to stare at it when you play it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You will memorize the
Feels
music
better.
if you look away from it.
Yeah.
But if you never look away, you won't memorize the music.
Right.
You will continually need that thing. For sure, that's a thing. But I'm a person now, I'll tell you, in the past couple, like I just went to this church. It was a new church. System was loud. I never heard. I was like, wow, this is great, you know? And I walked in, and there's a piano player there, and we had prepared this music, and we were coming in, and he went, I went, oh, a music stand. And he went, what do you think about that? And I said, I never met a church. I never been to a church I didn't like that had music. I love music stands. What I'm trying to say.
Oh.
I love music stands.
Right.
You know, give me a church with a music stand. You know, I appreciate the confidence monitors and everything, but like, I'd rather be able to look down. So I bought an iPad Pro, and I have it propped on the floor next to me at all times, and I use a page turner. And so I brought it for this thing. I was playing acoustic guitar, and I have it every week. I have my page turner and my Kemper, and I just cycle through, you know?
I like
Fancy.
Yeah, and sometimes I put it vertical, so it's nice and big, and sometimes I even zoom up the layer so I can see it. You know, I can see the lyrics, I can see everything. I know where I am, and I arrange the music, so I kind of always I know the arrangement on the things. A lot of times I can just get away with the sheet they give me, but I was able to just plop that thing right on the music stand.
Right on the
in front of
music
me.
stand.
Now, usually, a lot of times I'll even have it on the floor, or sometimes they'll give me a stand. And a lot of times I'm next to the drums. So that stand, because you got an iPad elevated, it's big. It's kind of distracting. But if you can put it right up on the drums, you know, he's got cymbals.
Like
and everything. You don't
blends
notice it.
in,
Yeah, it does. It blends in. And so I like being over to just glance over it. You got a fat, you know, like confidence thing right here.
You don't get a pass from me.
I dig it.
Dang, even after all that.
No, I dig it. I take it every time. Dude, I can't. This happened to me a month ago. We finish a song. I'm like, man, Jesus, that's some good worship. Song starts. I go, oh my God, a song 4. I forgot we have a 4th song.
You're walking off the stage.
I put my guitar down and walked off the I start going.
Wow.
I start going
I want to
out.
see the video of this.
Just going
Yeah,
out.
you know that's on there.
It's somewhere on there,
YouTube,
back.
yeah.
I wanna see it.
And you know,
That's a pretty
and
good
it
one.
starts, and I'm like,
Dang.
I go, whoops, you know.
That's great.
But hey, if I had the music right there, I would have seen. You know, there's
Yeah, you
another
flip the page and you got a whole nother song.
There's
Hold on,
another
sorry.
one.
right here. It happens. I'm gonna say my pet peeve though is,
That's so great.
yeah, I'm actually this is my real pet peeve. I really hate this, and I'll argue with people about this. I'll tell you to your face. I'll judge you for this.
I like this.
If you're the type of person that
Strong.
feels the need in a guitar solo to put in Star Wars or one of these other songs, a Coldplay
Bon Jovi.
solo, Bon Jovi, whatever. And this is all over Instagram. People think
Yeah.
it's so funny.
Right.
Look, it's something that I'm like, if you do it in practice, and then it's
Yeah.
like, ha ha, nice one, dude. Right? It's
Right.
fun. It's
Yeah.
fun.
It's like a joke. Yeah.
If you're doing that in the service, my real question to you would just be like, okay, explain to me how you are not just intentionally trying to joke around or have a laugh in the middle of this.
Right.
How is this not the most like,
Yeah.
look at me, I just made a joke. I mean, you might as well just pull out a clown hat or something. Like, it's so
Right.
strangely out of the ordinary.
Right.
And I know people do it and it's like clever and fun. But again, it's clever and fun for musicians.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really that clever and fun for anybody else. It's funny for Instagram. If you pull it off in a practice, ha ha ha, and you get your
Yeah.
video of it, like, ha,
Right.
cool. But
But you have a job to do while
Yeah.
you're like up there leading worship like that, then it's not that.
yeah, and if you're the type of person that does that 3 times because you got 3 services back to
Yeah.
back, I just go, do you have any taste at all?
Right.
How uncouth could you possibly be?
But second service needs to get the joke, John.
Right.
Just,
It's too uneven.
it's too uneven. That's really my pet peeve.
Oh man.
There's
Yeah, I can get behind
There's
that.
That's really fun.
I have done it, and B, I also share your opinion of it.
Yeah.
now. I think it was stupid to do it. So
Yeah. It's okay. You get a pass.
Yeah.
You know, you see something on Instagram's not a good idea, you do it. We all do that. We've all
Right.
done that. You know, remember tech vests
No.
Tech vests.
from Old Navy? Those vests we all bought in the late 90s? They were just a thin fleece vest.
Yeah.
Tech vest.
I can
Suze, can you put it up
imagine-
here
Yeah,
so we can all
sure.
see the tech vest from Old Navy? It was one of the biggest sellers of all time. Do you want to find it on your phone so you know what I'm
No,
looking
I'd
at
like
right
to
now?
see it later in the
It's a very simple fleece vest,
remember
and
that.
everyone for just a few, like about a year, everyone was just convinced everybody would look better in one of these fleece
Were
vests.
they warming or wasn't it for the warmth?
No, they're
It
very
was-
thin. No, it's not like the
Okay.
tech bro vest or the finance bro vest where it's like finance bro
Gucci.
always like warming their body, but they're ready for anything.
Did
you
you
know,
wear them?
everyone.
You
everyone
got
did.
them too?
It was like Old Navy. It
Okay.
was just huge.
I was never a vest guy.
No,
I may
Those
not
seem
have
odd to me.
actually.
you had
I'm
tech
trying
vest
to-
became a. It was like
I'm trying to
Old
think
Navy
of.
tech vest.
I'm trying to think of when I started wearing a black T-shirt every day.
We were young when tech vest, like junior high
Yeah.
tech vest.
Yeah, I think it may have just.
we were
happened.
young.
So
Like
you're
I,
saying this is like the guitar version of those? Like it's like a fad that's like.
I'll be honest
not
with you.
cool?
I have no recollection how tech vest got brought up, even though I brought it up just moments ago. You see something on Instagram's not a good idea, you do it. We all do that. We've all
Right.
done that. You know, remember tech vests?
Wow.
But I've already moved on because
Yeah, you said
see.
it was
Yeah.
like a fad.
it was a fad. There
Yeah.
you go.
Okay.
There you go.
It was popular and never funny.
I didn't know. I had
Right.
no. I
Hey,
had
these
no,
things are.
They just go
These
fast.
things fly by, you
They
guys.
fly by. It's a very fast-paced
It's very
show.
fast-paced.
Fastest paced show on the guitar.
Last call for
Verse.
pet peeves. Any more?
No, I have more, but I don't want to offend even more people.
I don't want to offend
Yeah,
anybody.
those are the big
But I
ones.
will just say that, like, to your thing earlier, what was your pet peeve? It was about the sound guy.
Sound guy and people staring at the charts.
Yeah, I think that's a larger issue where if you think about churches, it's like a systemic issue.
Oh yeah.
It's like churches have resources and they deploy them. We got to get that worship leader looking good. Let's get him some lights. Let's put all this money in the sound system.
Right.
Let's get like this whole building. Let's treat it. Like do all this stuff. We build. I mean, churches are the best theaters to play in. Like they're the best. You know, every time I show up to different churches, and I'm just like, this is like pro level. We
yeah.
could broadcast this anywhere. This could go on television right now.
Totally.
This is the cameras are as good as CMA Fest. You know. And then it's like, okay, but who's going to run sound? And it's like, how about the volunteer guy with no experience?
Right.
Which is insane.
He can learn.
Like, yeah, Morgan Whalen does not like go to his dad's like bingo game and go, you ever run sound?
Right.
And just to a random person. That is kind of what we do at church. We put in all this money and then almost
Yeah.
never do they really put a proper emphasis on let's get everyone trained, maybe in a professional environment. Like
Right.
let's hire some professionals to come in here and train our people if we don't want to
Well,
hire
even-
pros. Or,
Even worse is like a lot of churches have auditions for all musicians.
Yeah. Singers and yeah.
You gotta prove that you can do what needs to be done before we just let you do it.
sound guy.
Does that happen for sound guys? Have you ever
No,
heard
it's-
of that?
Well, it's based
I've
on
never
need.
heard of that.
It feels like it's based on need. The more you need a sound guy, the lower the bar goes.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, some churches have professional people, and they're great.
Yeah.
You know, we used to have some.
Some churches have professional people. They're not great.
It's true. It's true.
Indeed.
It's all over the place.
It's all over the
I get what
place.
you're
Yeah.
saying. I like what you're saying. I think what you're saying is true.
It's not in the nature of churches to be shrewd deployers of capital and resources. Those are skill sets that are highly, highly rewarded in a very specific part of the market. And those people get sucked up there.
Right.
Nonprofits tend to be the opposite side, and churches even more so the opposite side. Like, if you're a nonprofit that really competes, like let's say you're Compassion, you know, there's some other fund that also does like starving kids, right? And you've got some competition for resources, right? It's like you're competing for who gets the big donation from whoever,
Right.
Coca-Cola this year, who's the beneficiary of this and the benefit, right? And there's all that goes, right? You're trying to get a lot of money for your charity. Churches don't have this reach. They a lot of times are, they're regional based.
For sure.
They're pulling in the people from their community. It's not like there's, sometimes they're part of a big thing, but you ask people who have studied the Bible their whole life, they start a church, they go around, and all of a sudden, you gotta sort of make them like tacticians of like capital deployment and also like marketing and all these things. It's not the skill set, and it shouldn't be the skill set. And if it's too good, if they get too good, that's where I go like, it's Carl Lentz level stuff. You know what I mean?
I don't know who that is, but
he's the Hillsong guy who was cheating on his wife and got kicked out.
New York.
That
Hillsong.
Well, now he's going to New York and probably going to start a new thing.
Oh,
yeah. Look up Lentz. Yeah, he's anyway.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a level, Joe Rogan pointed out. It's like where your trunks on your swim trunks get so low that it's like.
I like where this is going.
Joe Rogan was like, nah, no. I'm not going to even say the word he said, but he was right. He pointed out months before the scandal. He was just like, that is not how you work out and wear your swim trunks when you are a happily married man of God. I don't know what that guy's doing right now, but he's gotten in way too good a shape.
Right.
The trunks are so low, it's almost illegal.
There are signs.
There are signs. And then, anyway, there's one for the ages, guys. Sorry.
It really is.
No, it really.
People,
HW's in a mood today.
People are going to be like, this is the last time I ever suggested a topic.
Right.